to now look at market figures. Now it's the end of the week, and the market is closing the week brilliantly up. Positive here, I have over 1%, about 1.24%. Effiong Ekop is in the studio for us to do an analysis of the market, the performance over the week. Effiong, the market is closing pretty well.
Yes, driven by half-year performances shown by many of the quoted companies. We've seen them from the banks, the oil sector, in so many subsectors. They have brought in their half-year reports, and it seems to be the major influence driving this bullish run that we currently see in the markets. And investors are positioning their baskets for the next half year that we are beginning this July, that will end in December. That's what we hear.
More of the breakdown. What do you make of the active stocks?
We still see LLX maintaining attraction in the market. We said that last week, and indeed between that time and now, LLX has improved by taking absolute 4 naira on its share price, which is going up to about 12 naira this time around. And we also put our eye on Etana stock. Generally, we have seen oil and gas securities doing very well in the market. The bank seems to be taking a break. We understand what is happening in the industry to be able to meet up the capitalization that the central bank is setting for them. Although we have information, some of them have started coming up to say they are already okay. They have enough of the 500 billion that central bank demands from them. That's a good report. So while we wait for the rest of them to finish and tidy up their balance sheets and then join the fray, good news coming from the banks already.
A lot of good news now, even with what the CBN is doing now, talking about getting off the forbearances and restoration plan.
You know, the sector is highly regulated, and we understand, because where the public puts their money, so it's good that you look critically so that we don't have too much cries coming from the area. So it is good that the banks are also complying with many of the guidelines and rules coming from the almighty financial regulator.
So let's move again to the market and see what you think.
The idea, the expectation is that markets, when we receive fully the results from many of them in this July, towards ending and maybe early August, market's supposed to slack. That's all things being equal in preparation for September or autumn. So that's exactly what we are going to see, because the half-year results will determine the sector that majority of investors and fund managers will play in the next half year. So we expect that the market should be able to sustain the interest that we have seen in the first half, where many people who were outside the market have managed to come in. On the reality that is outside difficult to do business in the outer part of the economy. So the market is still a place for one to go in.
I see Guinness, NEM Insurance, Connell PLC, Guinness, Cadbury, Red Starex on that list. And on the other list, we have Learn Africa, Tantalizers, Prestige Assurance, Regalings, and O&O.
Yes, since many of the big guns have already shown their report cards to the market, it is left, the rooms are there for the those we call middleweight securities. They too are showing their abilities, and we believe that any moment from now, the insurance subsector will take its pride of praise that we expect, because insurance before now wasn't a sector that many people were looking into, but that seemed to be changing. I keep saying that outside Nigeria, insurance sector even attracts attention more than the banking subsector. But here we know the banks, not many people even have insurance products or even understand the real role that insurance was to play in the economy. So if all that would be changing, it's good for us.
Well, let's see how it plays out as we move into another week. July is already moving. We're getting to mid-July already.
Very well. It is strategic in the sense that the markets will have to look at the register and then they tidy up what they had done in the first half. So at the end of July, you now use the month of August to think what will the next half year, bring in. If you didn't perform well in the first half year, you will reposition yourself for the second. If you did well, you want to, even stay and do better.
Yeah.
So that is it. It is the second half of the year, especially the last quarter, that is always bringing great emotions to the markets because you want your investors to know that you are performing, because otherwise they will leave you, they will sell off and go to other sectors. So all things being equal, the market has performed creditably. From January till now, it has gone beyond 20% in performance. That's on the positive side. That's great performance by any standards.
I must thank you so much, Effiong Ekop, for your analysis as always.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's see some foreign stories before we wrap up the show today. New data from UK's office, very important one for national statistics, shows that the United Kingdom's economy shrank again in May, falling to shake off the impact of US tariffs and business uncertainty. The latest monthly figures from the Statistical Office shows UK gross domestic products contracted 0.1% month-on-month in May. The data also indicated that production output declined 0.9% and construction fell 0.6%. Meanwhile, British Finance Minister Rachel Reeves has described the latest GDP figures as disappointing. Economists had expected the UK economy to grow in May. The effect of US tariff as exports jolted the economy. Well, let's talk crypto now. Bitcoin rallied to an all-time high today, powered by demand from institutional investors and crypto-friendly policies from U.S. President Donald Trump's administration. The world's largest cryptocurrency rose to a peak of more than $116,000 in Asian session today, taking its gain from a year to more than 24%. Hong Kong Web3 Association co-chair Joshua Chu says Bitcoin all-time high is being driven by relentless institutional accumulation. Major players are scooping up supply and drying up liquidity on exchanges. In March, President Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic reserve of cryptocurrencies and also appointed several crypto-friendly individuals, including Securities and Exchange Commission's chair Paul Atkins and White House Artificial Intelligence czar David Sachs. Well, indeed, that's our package for you today and for the week. Like I told you earlier, the market is closing this Friday positive. And I told you of the market, the figures that are doing pretty well: NEM, Cohort, Guinness, Cadbury, Red Starex. For losers, Len Africa, Tantalizers, Prestige, Regalinks, and Oando. On that positive note, I leave you with the closing band. And I'll see you on behalf of the entire production crew. We'll see you on Monday, where we'll be talking more business. But before then, get busy during the weekend and make the cash. I'll see ya.